2055, a company in Chicago called Time Safari has developed a revolutionary technology. Its owner has discovered a way to turn back time and turn it into a lucrative business, creating prehistoric hunting expeditions. From millionaires to hunt dinosaurs, now the team is led by Travis. They're escorting John and his daughter on another hunt for the past. They move through the jungle, follow the path defined by a three-dimensional image. Finally, the group encounters a giant saurus. The creature approaches John and prepares to fire, but Travis asked everyone to wait for his orders. As the dinosaur approaches the swamp, Travis ordered the entire group to fire. Take down Allosaurus and let it sink into the mud. A few hours later, Charlie had a party to celebrate the success of another time travel. Travis was interrupted at a party by a woman named Sunya. She accused everyone present of committing a crime and spilled a bottle of blood. The guests warned that if the company continues to make trips, the future of the Earth is in danger. Charlie immediately ordered the guards to take her away. But Travis was curious about what she said and decided to find out more. When I met Sunya, she revealed that I'm the creator of the TAMI program, but her name was dropped from the project. Not only is it not recognized, you're worried about changing the past. It can cause paradox. Time is enough to destroy the world. Travis insists the process is safe, though, because they're just hunting dying dinosaurs. Ensure that the flow of time is uninterrupted. Despite the explanations, Sunya still thinks this process is dangerous because there's no time travel. There is absolutely no error. At that time in the lab, an assistant carrying a bottle of Nito accidentally dropped it on the floor. I hurriedly put it back in the time machine, but no one realized that the liquid inside has begun to leak. The next day, 2,000 rich Tet and Chris, tired of boring life, accidentally known to visit Safari. When they arrived, Charlie convinced them that this will be the greatest adventure of my life. Give them a contract when read the terms, feel apprehensive about the risks. Chris didn't hesitate to sign it. At the same time, convince your friend to follow suit. After explaining the details of the trip, Travis reveals the devices they'll bring. Let's start with guns that fire nitrogen bullets. It can go through concrete. The next two friends were vaccinated. And finally, Travis emphasized the rules of travel. Time cannot change the past. Don't bring anything from there to the present. And we're not supposed to hunt anything other than dinosaurs. When everything is ready to test, Chris and the team wear protective suits and step into the machine, time in just a few seconds. They're going through the portal and appeared in a forest thousands of years ago. Group forward, follow the path has been shown by a three-dimensional image. It startled me when I saw a creature in the forest and try to shoot it, but the gun doesn't work. Turns out it's just a butterfly, and Michael reminded me that the weapon would be locked until the leader fires first. After this little incident, the group continues the journey and once again encounter the saurus. Travis already knows every move of the organism. Ask people to wait until it's close enough. But when Travis tried to fire, your gun is still locked. The whole team is completely helpless. In a Ted panic, and Chris runs away. The saurus is ready to attack. Travis and Jenny try to lure the monster away, while Market quickly repairs the gun. As soon as it is completed, Market threw a gun, put Travis in. A precision shot to the head kills the dinosaur. Even though there's a lot of trouble, they manage to destroy the monster. Within the prescribed time period, make sure the past is not changed. Everything seems to be stable. Kate and Chris are back, and we all walk through the portal to get back to the present. But no one realized that on the way appeared a muddy footprint, signs that the AI has unwittingly impacted the past. Back in the office, two angry customers, accusing Charlie for laying down their lives and dangerous due to faulty equipment. They threatened to sue the company, but Charlie quickly reassured them. A few hours later, Travis asked Michael about the incident with the gun. After checking on Michael, it was discovered that the system had collapsed due to a nitrogen leak. David heard that and asked for tighter safety measures, but I'm also beginning to suspect that this incident may have changed the past. The next day, David's fears came true, when the news reported a sudden rise in temperature, causing the fish in the town lake to die en masse. Things get even weirder on the way to work. I've found a lot of plants growing at breakneck speed. Travis, though, still trying to reassure myself that it's just a coincidence, and continue to the lab, where a new group of customers are waiting to join the hunt. The research team carried out the process as usual and stepped into the time machine, but when they got there, they immediately realized it wasn't right. The body of Saurus is still in the swamp. Things are getting worse when a giant volcano in front of them, sudden eruption, forcing the group to rush back to the transfer gate to retreat after these 7 defeats. Travis summons the entire team and asks the TAMI program to check for problems. However, artificial intelligence claims that its calculations have not been changed. Change can't find the cause. Government Representative Claire ordered the suspension of the entire project. I'm concerned that errors in time travel, it can have serious consequences. There's no other way. Charlie begged Travis to find a solution. Travis remembers Sunya and decided to find her for answers. On the way to Sunya's apartment, suddenly the road collapsed, forced the driver to steer away. Fortunately, no one was injured, but Travis realized that This incident is caused by giant roots rising from the ground. There's no doubt about it. These strange events are definitely related to bugs. In time travel. Rushed to Sunya's apartment. Chavez noticed the situation was getting worse. Many giant tree roots are growing. Lan destroyed the building. Many angry residents are driving Sunya out, given that these bizarre roots came from her giant plant experiment. But the young woman didn't flinch. She held her gun through the door and forced everyone to leave. If you don't want to be shot, there's no way Travis left the building. When passing by, I saw a delivery man. I'm going to transport a package of fertilizer to Julia. Travis quickly disguised as a delivery man and sneak into Sunya's apartment without being discovered. When you get inside, Sunya immediately recognized Travis. But Mr. Anko and warned that something had happened. With time travel, Sunya said she soon realized the dire consequences of change the past and asked David to look out the window as he follows a giant wave sweeping through the city. Its power caused David to be thrown backwards. I'm lucky you weren't hurt. Sonia explained that it's a time wave. Consequences of changes in the past. There will be more waves. It changes all of space and time. She went on to explain that these waves are affecting evolution. And if we don't act in time, then all living things, they will be transformed into strange monsters. Realize the seriousness of the situation. Travis hurried back to the lab. As soon as the door is opened, I found a woman who was injured. 10 giant insects that eat meat. In a split second, the insects that filled the apartment forced Travis and Sonia had to flee through the greenhouse. However, they quickly surrounded both. They will be the next victim. But not long after, they keep coming, force them both to jump out the window. Lucky for the changes caused by the waves of time, a giant tree has grown just below. Help them land safely. When they stand up, they are terrified. The whole city has been destroyed by environmental changes in the midst of chaos. The only solution is to go back to the past and fix the mistake from the previous trip. Back to the lab. Sonia immediately started to fix Tammy. To find an error in the calculation, take Travis back to the past. Meanwhile, Charlie 4, fly right, allow reactivation of the machine before it's too late. Under heavy pressure, claims reluctantly agree. As soon as Tammy is repaired, Travis stepped into the machine and activated it. When passing through the transfer gate, suddenly, a tribe of Indians on horseback galloping towards him, and Travis was almost trampled by them. The scientist sees a giant wave of time. He's rushing towards me and immediately back to the lab, through the transfer port, but the waves still touch the present. It affects everyone, and cause one more change to the Earth. This time, the lab is completely covered in giant tree roots, and the whole city was in darkness because of the blackout. As the group recovered from the shock, Sunya explained that a new problem had arisen. The waves of time are interfering with travel. Time. It makes it more dangerous to go back in time. Now the only way is check the data from your last trip to find out what's changed in the past. Group use hologram projector to review footage from the trip. Text and Chris. But surprisingly, they didn't detect anything unusual. The analysis continues until the market notices a small change in volume. When the group returns to the present, what this means is that AI carried an object from the past through the gate. Displacement 6, violation of rules. It doesn't interfere with the timeline. Sonia insists that this is impossible because the time machine is equipped with biofilters, blocking all organic matter from the past. But right then and there, Charlie was forced to admit that he disabled this filter. To save energy and cut operating costs, the whole group is angry at Charlie's irresponsibility. But there's no time to argue. They must correct the mistake immediately, because the mass difference is very small. Travis speculates that Ted and Chris may have accidentally stepped off the hologram path, bring something from the past. I decided to find them for answers. At the same time, Sunya proposed a new but extremely risky plan to help Travis go back in time. The idea is to open the teleport port exactly at the moment another wave of time hits. However, Travis, there's only 20 seconds to fix the timeline and get everything back to normal. With the only chance, Travis gathered the whole team, and together they're armed with nitrogen guns, ready to go after Ted and Chris. In the dark night, they're surrounded by giant old trees and constantly hear the sounds of the creatures hiding in the dark. As we move deeper into the forest, the team discovered strange footprints on the ground. It's not like traces of dinosaurs or any animal that they know. They keep moving, though, until it's stopped by a road that covers the roots. Suddenly, some tree roots reached out and pulled macOS inside, inject the spikes all over his body. Travis rushed to save his friend, but the poison is fast-acting. macOS is getting weaker. Soon after, Dr. Lucas was dragged away by a creature. It looks like a velociraptor. Travis immediately chases to save Lucas, but when you encounter this creature, I realized it wasn't a normal dinosaur. It's a hybrid between a dinosaur and a baboon. This is one of those deformed monsters, created by the effects of the waves of time. I saw Travis the monster coming to attack. He immediately pulled out his nitrogen gun and shot right under the neck. Take down the creature, but immediately a series of other hybrid dinosaurs appeared. Enclosure of the area. Travis rushed towards the group and tried to pull Michael away. Michael decided to stay, because you know you're just going to slow down the team. In an act of sacrifice, Marcus opened fire to attract the monsters, give the group time to escape, but you're quickly overwhelmed and torn apart in seconds. Despite the pain of Michael's death, Travis believes that if they can fix the past, everything will return to normal and Michael will come back to life. With this hope, the group continues the search. After a long journey, they met a boy and his father, running into the supermarket looking for food. When the father found a bag of bread, a hybrid dinosaur suddenly appeared and rushed to attack. Right before it's too late, Travis was there in time. Shoot down the monster with a precision shot. Thanks for this help. My father decided to help the group and take them to the TED apartment. Up to the 7th floor, David found the test, but after hearing his explanation, the test confirmed that I didn't leave the hologram trail on the hunt. What this means is, Chris could be the cause of all these disasters. To help the team find Chris, the test revealed that his car is still in the building's parking lot. When we got there, Lucas banged on the car window and restarted the engine by wiring it so that the team can get on the road at speed. Up to Chris's apartment, where Travis and Sunya went to find Chris, while Jenny and Lucas stayed to guard the car. Climbed the building. They found the roots of a giant mulberry tree covered in poison. Around many victims who committed suicide, it seems to have been poisoned from these dead roots. They carefully move through the danger zone, avoid contact with the roots until the end. I also found Chris in his apartment, but Chris was also affected by the poison. He didn't hesitate to pull out his gun and shoot at Travis and Sunya. A building security guard heard gunfire and run to check, but was immediately shot by Chris. In the midst of that chaos, David tried to convince Chris that he needs help to undo the damage that's been done in the past. However, it is affected by the poison. Chris desperately declares that nothing can be saved. He put a gun to your head and pull the trigger. I'm still shocked by what just happened. Travis and Sunya immediately check Chris' clothes to find evidence. While searching, they discovered a prehistoric butterfly crushed under the sole of his shoe. Turns out when Chris tried to run away from the Saurus, he slipped off the aisle with a slide and accidentally stepped on this butterfly. Knowing the cause of all the chaos, they both returned to the car where Jenny and Lucas were fighting back. Creatures with wings just started to run away. One of the monsters rushed through the hood. It's a hybrid of dinosaurs and bats. The group tried to fight them with nitrogen guns, but a monster grabbed Lucas and dragged him out of the car. The situation got worse while on the run. They're being attacked by another wave of time, causing the car to overturn on the road. Fortunately, they survived and ran to the lab, but when they got inside, they found Charlie's lifeless body. It's worse when the time waves have severely damaged the time machine. Now the only way to get back to the past is to use the machine that Sunya built. At the university, she quickly took the hard drive containing the program. Tammy and BA, who were about to leave, but when they opened the closet, they found Cly hiding inside. Claire motioned for them to be quiet. By the lab ceiling, there's a group of sleeping hybrid dinosaurs. Travis signals for Cly to run after them, but because he was too afraid, he refused to move. 3 people decided to leave first. After a few minutes of running away, BA sets get to the GA subway to get to the university. But when I got into the train, a landslide happened, causing water from the river to flow into the tunnel, submerging the entire subway system. The only way to survive is through the window and swim to the ventilation ducts in the tunnel. But as soon as they're ready to get out, a giant sea serpent suddenly broke the window, attacked Jenny, and dragged her out of the wagon. I couldn't save my cousin. Travis rushed to help Sunya swim out. When you both get out of the car, the monster appeared again. Travis tried to shoot the gun but found it was out of ammunition. There's no other choice. He pulled out his knife and charged at the giant. After many cuts, Travis finally managed to defeat the sea serpent. But as soon as you're ready to swim, the monster wrapped me in its tail and pulled me towards it. I thought it was about to be swallowed, and suddenly another collapse happened, causing the ceiling to fall and crush the snake. However, Travis was also beaten and knocked unconscious by the VA. Lucky, Sunya was able to pull him to the surface and perform artificial respiration. That's how Travis survived. Both continue to the end of the tunnel, where they finally found the university. Everything seems to be intact, but soon after, they're surrounded by a group of approaching hybrid dinosaurs. Travis and Sunya ran into the university lab. Quickly lock every door. And then they started reactivating the photon accelerator. Sunya installs the hard drive containing the Tommy program into the device. Turn it into a new time machine. She programmed quickly to create another gate, because another wave of time is coming. Travis, wearing a protective suit, walked into the machine, and Sunya activated it at the right time so that I can pass through the time gate. It's not affected by the waves. Go back in time for the safari. David immediately found Jenny and asked her to reactivate the biofilter before everyone comes back through the gate. I even told Jenny, record the entire event in a single video and give it to David's version of the past. Although confused, Jenny did. Before leaving, Travis of the future. I saw Chris about to step on a prehistoric butterfly. He quickly pulled Chris out of the way, prevent accidental actions from causing future disasters. That's how the timeline was fixed. The reality of the end is gone. And Travis from the future also vanished. Like the previous trip, Travis of the present continues to defeat Saurus and the team are safe. At home while watching the video, Travis discovered the whole truth about the risk. From the time machine, Charlie turned off the biofilter just to save money. This proof is enough to end the Safari Time project. Even at the risk of losing your job, Chavez still decided to reveal everything to Sunya. When I met her at the apartment, I told her the whole truth. Sunya was surprised by his actions and invite you in for coffee.